الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهن وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا وكأين من قرية عتت سألت عن أمر ربها ورسله فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا وعذبناها عذابا نكرا فذاقت وبال أمرها وكان عاقبة أمرها خسرا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب الذين آمنوا قد أنزل الله إليكم ذكرا رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات ليخرج الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات من الظلمات إلى النور ومن يؤمن بالله ويعمل صالحا يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا قد أحسن الله له رزقا الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل شيء علما.
As the gender war rages on, in order to keep the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Exactly. I'm your host, Saudi Man. Remove your shoes and enter upon your right foot, upon the right state of mind. Bi'idnillah. Topic: supporting single mom-stitution with degenerate contributions. Bars. Supporting single mom-institution with degenerate contributions. I'd like to start by saying that there was a post, I saw it on Facebook, stating that maybe like 14 points, 10 to 14 points on what was sunnah. And this was regarding marriage. So 10 to 13 points about what was sunnah and regarding marriage. And they started listing just anything and everything that would seem to be a good thing. A lot of it was based on current day societal ills. So they took everything that would not remedy, not cure, but things that would tend to somewhat address, maybe offset certain societal norms, and they called it sunnah. Of course, I push back. It is not sunnah to marry divorcees. It is not sunnah to marry the topic single moms, things like that. Those are not encouraged. As a matter of fact, the understanding of single mom was someone that was divorced or widowed. It was not someone, like I mentioned probably last week, that went to the club, you know, had a little bit too much libation, became inebriated, woke up with child conceived. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that being said, they said that it's sooner to marry single moms, and I was like, there was no single mom epidemic except through, uh, you know, widows because of jihad, fisabilillah, and so on and so forth, and there was also single moms due to divorce, but because polygyny was a norm, you know, that offset a lot of single moms that would otherwise not have a husband. So even Rasulullah married someone that was, you know, considered elderly, like Soda, radiallahu anha. Okay, of course, you know he married Khadija, radiallahu anha. There's some dispute whether or not she was actually 15 years older than him, but not to get into that. Um, Single mom-stitution. Why would I put institution on the end of single mom? I got chewed out last week for bringing up single moms, and this is again something that may cause me to be chewed out. But nevertheless, it is not sunnah to marry single moms. Not saying it's not a good thing, but it is not a remedy in our modern day times for this single mom epidemic that we tend to go through. Again, 70 to 80 divorces are initiated by women. You would like to think it's all due to divorce. It is not. You would like to think it's all due to extramarital uh, relations. It is not. Okay. Uh, Most of it is financial. Disenchantment is pretty much high on the list. Domestic comes in, or domestic violence comes in kind of low on the totem pole of reasons. Nevertheless, when someone is a single mom, then our hearts tend to pour out to them, even to the point where people are trying to make it sunnah to marry them. If you look into the sunnah of the Rasul Muhammad sallam, he would recommend virgins, young, fertile, so on and so forth, in order to populate the ummah. He also spoke about how you can play with them and they can play with you. Basically, there's a sakina, you know, there's enjoyment, there's tranquility there. Okay. But when it comes to modern day phenomena of single moms, it becomes what I call single mom-stitution. Basically, they feel entitled to a husband, especially from the Muslims. They feel entitled to a husband, especially from the Muslims. I'm watching a clip of a podcast. These are kuffar even. And the woman is saying she doesn't like the fact that this one guy was saying he would never marry a single mom. And he talks down upon it. And he's against it for himself. She said, how can you be against marrying single moms when you come from a single mom? He said, that is the very reason why I'm against marrying single moms, because I come from a single mom and I do not want to repeat or perpetuate that pattern. He said, I suffered trauma as a result of being, from a single mom. They said, well, you are a high value man now. You are high earning. You are, put together. You're handsome, intelligent, so on and so forth. He said, well, that's despite of having a single mom. He said, because I struggled. The woman said, no, your mom struggled. He said, we struggled. We struggled. I needed a dad in my life. He said, I would not advocate for men of value or other to marry single moms. It is almost like an entitlement that because you are a single mom, a situation that you chose for yourself, more likely than not, chose for yourself. Another situation, a guy shoots the club up, finds out the girl is pregnant. She says, hey, I'm pregnant, after barely knowing each other, of course not married. and he says, "Well, I don't want to be a father. I got kids already. I don't want to be a father. I don't want any more children." So she, against his will, went and had the child anyway, against his will. Now we're not getting into the Islamic understanding of abortion thing. We're talking about these two kuffar, you know, meeting each other in the middle of the street like two dogs. Uh, he shot the club up. He did not wear protection. She had 30 some odd more, uh, you know, resources of protection than he did. She chose not to wear it or take it or participate in it. Then he, again, shot the club up. She becomes pregnant. He says, "I don't want another child. I don't want a child by you." Then what happens? She has the child anyway. Anyway, she has the child. So she's trying to force this man into fatherhood. If he would have said, "I want the child," and she would have said, "I don't want the child," he still would not have a child by her. But because she said, "I wanted the child," and he said, "I didn't want the child," she chose to bring him or that child into a single mom situation. So we can quit all the boo hoo in this regard, and we can quit a lot of the boo hoo when people break their own homes. And we can quit a lot of the boo hoo when they say, "Woe is me, no one wants to marry me because I'm a single mom." Uh, some of us uh, were trying to, balance out your poor choices by marrying women and not shying away from women that had a child prior. And we got punished. We got punished severely. We got punished severely. That child would never be ours no matter how we treated the child. Just like our own, that child would never be ours. You will hear, "You are not my father." You will hear that. Uh, you know, you will, in case of breakup or divorce or what have you, you will not have rights to that child, access to that child, and influence over that child. You would not, because she is the sole parent of that child, even though you married that single mom. So for you, it's just pouring out resources. For you, it's just pouring out resources and hoping if y'all that if y'all stay together, you can have an influence over that child. Not to mention, like I mentioned, that marrying single moms is the worst form of polygyny because there's dudes. How do you think she had them kids before she met you? There's dudes. So you're not only marrying her, you're marrying the situation. Remember how we used to marry into families, which we should return to, which I would try to practice with my children, my sons, my daughters. I would try to practice that and lead them that way. Uh, it's the worst form of polygyny because you're marrying all these dudes. If these dudes are active in the child's life, now you have even less influence over the child. Even less influence over the child. So nevertheless, you're just doling out money. You're just a piggy bank at this juncture. So there's an entitlement there because I'm a single mom or they're single moms. Boo hoo, boo hoo. People should marry me. Even they try to throw it out as sunnah. They try to throw it out as sunnah. This is a modern day phenomena. Stop. It was not epidemic back then. It is epidemic now. So stop trying to make everything sunnah to thwart, bad choices or to overcome or to remedy bad choices. Uh, when another part of entitlement is when they feel entitled to your resources. You marry a woman that has children. Well, my maintenance is this much, and plus my kids. You say, hold on. I'm not obligated to take care of your kids. They say, well, this marriage is not gonna happen because I'm not finna, like, dude, why don't you obligate that dude? Obligate, you made a choice with that dude to have a whole child. The highest level of commitment is to have a child by a man. It's not marriage. You can divorce a husband. You can't divorce a child. So anyway, you gave him the highest honor of having the fun of making the child. He got a chance to do the do to make the child, to make the juice that makes the child. And you coming in as a person that's marrying a single mom, what happens? They feel like they're entitled to your wealth. They feel like they're entitled to your income because they are a single mom. A real man would marry, no, a real woman If we're going to go there, a real woman would choose wiser, not have children by randoms, not have illegitimate children, you know what I'm saying, without qualifying, without requiring marriage. So if we're going to go for real this, real woman, real man, but nevertheless they feel like they are entitled to your wealth. And it does not leave room for our natural benevolence. If I tell a woman I'm not obligated to take care of your children, I'm only obligated to maintain you, provide for you. If I tell her that, that doesn't mean I'm not going to contribute to her children, because whether I want to or not, her children are going to fall into that. You know, if I take her out to eat and the child is at a babysitter, let's say it's just one child. I'll say the best scenario, right? It's just one child, and I take her out to eat, and she says, "Well, can we get something, for my son, my daughter, Oh, sure. I'm not going to say no, you know, because they are entitled to take out. So I would say, yeah, sure. So they would get something for their child. So either way, it's going to overlap. You're going to have to be responsible. It won't just be your presence. It won't just be because if you're present, you're protecting. Somebody break in the house, you're not going to throw the children at the burglar. You're not going to pick the children up and slang them at the burglar, you know, and put her behind you. No, 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 no. You're going to put everybody behind you, and you're going to take all the bullets and all the knife wounds, and you're going to do all the battling, all the fisticuffs, all the pugilism. You're going to do all of that to protect everybody in the house. Okay, so it will overlap. So we know it's no obligation for us financially over those quote unquote stepchildren. We know that, but it will indeed overlap, and you will find yourself, going above and beyond. Okay, no problem. La mushkila, no problem. Okay, so nevertheless, it does not leave room for our natural benevolence when they obligate you or they feel entitled to your wealth. Okay, now they say that well, a real man would step up. Okay, let's talk about stepping up. Let's talk about stepping up. Stepping up does not remedy the problem. We need to remedy the problem. I talked about it before, and I'll talk about it again for the 1,000th time. Two men are walking down a riverbank. They see a child floating down the river. Then they see another child floating down the river. And then another child comes floating down the river. One man starts to take off his shoes. The other man starts to walk upstream. The man taking off his shoes turns to the man walking upstream and says, "Hey, where are you going? Help me jump in here and save these babies." The man walking upstream says, "No, I'm going to go and find out who's putting these babies in the water." See, that's how you solve a problem. That's how you stop an epidemic. You don't jump in the water and react. Because if you jump in the water and react, how many babies will you save? Okay? You'll grab one, and you swim to the edge to the bank of the river. You throw the baby over, set the baby to the side. You jump in again, grab another, and while you're doing that back and forth, you're losing 10 babies for every one that you save. So if you go up the river, you will find out who's throwing babies in the river, and you'll stop it. So babies are being thrown into this single parent river, this single mom river, and they say, "You men need to step up." Now, the dude that made the juice need to step up. That's who needs to step up. Women need to step up and dignify themselves, because if your child is not a result of grape, a molestation, if your child is not a result of that, then you need to step up. Step up your requirements for jamat, for intercourse. Step up your requirements, for before you let a man enter you. Before you definitely let a man shoot your club up, Step up your requirements. So they say that if we don't step up, we're not really real men. But stepping up does not remedy the problem. Just like jumping in a river, trying to save one baby at a time does not solve the problem. Going up river stream Finding out who's throwing the babies in the river and stopping them from doing so remedies the problem. So, yes, stepping up, I can't argue, is a good thing to step up. But if there's a societal epidemic happening of single moms, 80% of African American, quote unquote, children born are born out of wedlock. The number goes down for other nationalities, but this ex-slave group has the worst statistics, you know. And so, how do we stop using that as an example, as uh, a small uh, test case? How do we stop it? Raising the morals, raising the level of dignity, raising the honor of the individual by what? Not having them so low as to just, go to the club, dance around, drink it up, and go home and get shot up. You know, that's where the step up needs to happen, not in us men. You know, Allah bless me, bi'idhnillah. I don't have any children out of wedlock. I have 9 children. I have none out of wedlock. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Not even from Jahili. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So, why must I, which I have in the past, why must I step up? I'm not part of, I'm not causing this epidemic, okay? I'm not causing this epidemic. Yes, I'm not with the mothers of my children, but that's not my fault. That's not my fault, you know? The social media and the abundance mindset and the grass is greener mindset, you gonna downgrade, but you can't retread. You gonna downgrade, but you can't retread this way, you know. And my only concern are those children. So my children don't need a stepdad. My children have a very loving, supportive, active dad. They don't need a stepdad. You know, what a stepdad gonna do? Play Christian music on the radio for him? You know, what a stepdad gonna do? You know, have him part of some cult. You know, dressing like he. Anyway, so nevertheless, yeah, that's where the step up needs to happen. Okay, it does not remedy the problem that you make a problem. I jump to solve the problem. No, we need to remedy the problem. When Allah Ta'ala ordained from the Rasul Muhammad Sallam that if a man and woman are alone, shaitan is the third, and that a man and woman should not be in a state of khalwa or seclusion with each other. Okay, when Allah Ta'ala declared that, it wasn't just for the women you're attracted to. It's a general rule that needs to be respected so that the harms of when you're with a woman you're not attracted to, the harms that could happen when that woman is of someone that you are attracted to. Okay? And people, our emotions go up and down, so on and so forth. So again, with that being said, we're talking about remedies. Islam is a remedy for problems. Islam doesn't come in to try to clean the kufr. Islam obliterates and eliminates the kufr so that we may enjoy, the peace of Islam. Nevertheless, what are the ways and means, that it becomes single mom-stitution? Basically, stitution, I put that on the end of certain things. Titution, hijab stitution is when they wear real tight fitting this and that. They got the bangs out, and they're trying to garner attention, showing their zinah, their bodily adornment, like Muhammad SAW said, clothed yet naked. There's nothing to your imagination. Okay, so that's hijab stitution. Okay, but when you're talking about monetarily, remember, if you look at the thumbnail, dollar signs for everywhere there was an S. Now, how is it benefited from? What are the ways and means? There's a financial benefit of being a single mom or becoming a single mom. Well, one is that the sad stories equal money. Oh, this guy left me. Oh, he don't want to take responsibility, so on and so forth. So cha-ching, the cash app starts going off. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because why? There was a sad story. I remember there was here locally there was a girl who uh, got pregnant by, it was probably a Muslim girl, got pregnant by this Kafir dude. The Kafir dude abused the child or whatever, from the illegitimate relationship. I don't even know if that was his child. Matter of fact, first of all, I think that he was just a boyfriend, and he abused the child, knocked the child unconscious or something. And they put out a GoFundMe about the whole situation, and the family played it up as she was an abused woman, abused wife. She wasn't a wife at all. I'm saying she was a piece. She wasn't a wife at all, but they used it and they played it up. So what it became? Single mom-stitution. Single mom-stitution. She benefited from the sad sob story, and people hit the cash app, cha-ching, 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 single mom-stitution. So there's a benefit, a lot of them, in claiming single mom. Single moms get housing, so on and so forth. We will cover that. Simps. There's a financial benefit when you present your story to simps. Simps will not only jump in and say, "I'll carry the load, I'll take care of these children." It's a wonder why no woman before that woman wanted to have any children by you. So you jump out, the simps jump out, and they start bad mouthing the dude. Don't even know the dude. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother Jawad. They don't even know the dude, but they jump out, start bad mouthing the dude, carrying your sad story for you, so the cash app goes off again. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's what happens, okay? Beyond that, there are government incentives. Remember, with the housing and things like that, you get housing as long as there's no man in the picture. There are certain TANF and SNAP benefits, money and food stamps you can get. There's free medical you can get, as long as there's no man in the picture. You know what I'm saying? So again, all that happens, all those incentives are there if, there's no man in the picture. So to become a single mom, they actually have government incentives for it. And just like with everything else, I'm telling you, it's all feeding the child pedo ring. It's all feeding the pedo ring, from the politicians to the judges to the law enforcement. It's all feeding this pedo ring that they have going on. The more single moms, the more, degenerates being produced. And degenerates, basically, they start off, majority of degenerates, 80%, they start off with single moms. The contributing factor to gang violence, LGHTB, 4K HDMI, grape, gang banging, drug use, runaway, self-deletion. Look it up. Single moms top the list on all of those. So 80+% of the degenerates that end up in prison, if you listen to their stories, single mom, single mom, single mom. They say, we shouldn't talk about single moms. We should talk about the reasons that the woman wanted to get out the relationship. Well, I'm giving some of the reasons. Because, see, the thing about it, if you ain't just marrying no random dude, if you are, laying with no random dude, marry the family. Look into the family. Get to know each other. Make a commitment. Get married. That brings down the domestic situation automatically. And majority of those domestic situations, whether y'all know it or not, because they say men are so violent, men are the reason they're getting divorced. Well, the lesbians have the highest rate of domestic violence. If it's the men that's starting all of these domestic violence situations, then why do lesbians, two women, why do lesbians have the highest rates of domestic violence? Why do they have the most violent relationships? Because, see, even two sword fighters don't have a high issue of domestic violence, because one of them is gonna get on the bottom, and he ain't gonna try to steal the top, the shine from the top, and the one that's on top, you know, even if he gets on the bottom, he know where he perches up there. He like a gargoyle on top of a boy, So they recognize that, hey, we two dudes, we can really hurt each other. So let's just hurt each other, with the sword fight. You know, this is what the understanding is. But lesbians, one tries to be a man, so now you're acting masculine. You're not just naturally masculine, because you can be naturally masculine and be like, chill. But if you acting masculine, they tend to want to be violent, and so they pull hair and scratch eyes out and rip breast and tear, labias and things like that. This actually happens, okay? You know, so not exaggerating, okay? Even prison fights, lesbians in prison, when they fight, they mutilate each other. Men just, we just knuckle it up, and go to our corners and lick our wounds. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, with that being said, you have to factor in that they are causing a lot of these domestic violence. They are striking first or pushing men to the point. Me, myself, I was told, if you call the police, you are blank, blank, blank. You ain't no man. Well, why you can't fight your own battles? Why you gotta? Well, because these hands are so nice. These hands are so nice that if I lash out physically like that, I'm gonna cause a lot of damage, and I have to be around for my children. Okay, I can't, man. Look, I can't shine on you. I mean, what I'm gonna look like shining on you? I got to be around for my children. Take priority. So therefore, I will refrain and restrain myself. That's discipline, but that comes because I'm masculine. Okay. If I were feminine, my emotions would be all over the place, and that's horrible. Okay. Jawad says, "Yep, but they don't want to talk about it." No, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. So the government incentives are there. Beyond that, there's for those that actually did get married, there's alimony. But alimony took a twist when it came to Tiger Woods, and when it came to, who is that? It's Tiger Woods, and it's Adesanya, Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya had a girlfriend. She's trying to get alimony from him, okay, because he don't want to be with her no more. Tiger Woods had a girlfriend, not even married, okay, because he went through that before, and his wife got millions upon millions, 100 million plus from him, his ex-wife. So his girlfriend now is trying to sue him for alimony. See, so they don't even require marriage anymore before they incentivize single momism. I'm not saying Israel Adesanya has a child by this girl. I think I don't think he has a child by this girl. I don't think Tiger Woods has a child by this girl, because if they did, then there would be child support sought. But these women are going for actual alimony, so they incentivize the breakup. And Allah forbid that there's a child involved, then it's really incentivized. So the last incentive is what? Child support. You can punish him. Matter of fact, you can cripple him if he can't pay the child support. You'll take his license. Now he can't make a living. Now he can't earn a living to even pay the child support. Now he's in jail, and while he's in jail, they have to suspend the child support because he can't possibly pay the child support while he's in jail. So it's just to punish him for not bowing to you. Making Allah Ta'ala his God alone is like one of the worst things you can do for these people. They will try to make you bow to them. They will try to make you bow to them. And this is not all. I'm not saying all. Even when I gave the percentages, I didn't say 100%. I didn't say 100%. So don't think I'm talking about you, because I know some wonderful women that have children. They've had all or most of their children by one man under wedlock and stuff like that. I mean, wonderful, wonderful. I mean, gorgeous, beautiful. I'm saying Muslim sisters, and stuff like that. Even among the kuffar, some beautiful. But with that being said, it's incentivized. The degeneracy is incentivized. There are ways and means of profiting from tearing up and breaking your own house. I'm saying breaking your own home. It's incentivized. One of the last things I want to mention is that they say, the thing is that women are strong and independent. Strong and independent, They're strong and independent. Okay. Strong and independent wouldn't have you asking this man for child support. If he didn't want to be a father, why are you forcing financial fatherhood on this man? When you had a one. Now I'm gonna go 100. Now you had 100% choice to have that child or not. It wasn't his choice at all. Yet men have 0% birthrights. 0% birthrights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jawad said they get paid to do wrong. Indeed, they do. We have 0% birthrights. So, with that being said, that if you are so strong and independent, why are you asking for child support? You know, why are you asking for child support? If you're strong and independent, give those children to the father. You know, give those children to the father. Because strong and independent, doesn't seem so independent of his resources. Okay? If you're strong and independent, why is he being slandered up and down social media and in your family and friend circles? So again, and if you are really that strong, why don't you go get a job on a construction site lifting I-beams, and show how strong you are instead of, trying to sue him like they trying to do with Tiger Woods and Israel Adesanya. You know what I'm saying? The style bender. Anyway. So Jawad says strong and independent victims. Yeah, strong and independent victims. That's crazy. So anyway, so that's my take on single mom-stitution. How instead of keeping it together, because you got scholars like I think Imam Shafi Rahmatullah that said that if you get a woman pregnant, it's best to marry her. Some ulama say don't marry her if you get her pregnant. I wouldn't understand those that say if you got her pregnant, don't marry her, except that they were saying that she's really immoral. And you say, well, why is she more immoral than he is? Because men don't have a gestation period. Men don't carry a child. If we have a child illegitimately, the child does not belong to us. It belongs only to the woman, Islamically. Okay? So because of all of these factors, and in the Kufr system, men have 0 birthrights. Even in Islamic system, we would have 0 birthrights. We can't make a woman terminate. Of course, we can stop her from terminating. We would have some leeway that way. But we can't make a woman terminate even in Islam. You know what I'm saying? Best to hide your shame. You're gonna be stoned. So anyway. But nevertheless, that's single mom-stitution. That's how you benefit from being a single mom financially. Okay? Not only you get the emotional support, men are dogs, men are that. Well, I have in my childhood and adulthood witnessed 2 dogs. I witnessed a male dog on top of a female. What was he on top of? A female dog. A sharmuta. He was on top of a female dog. Okay? The male dog, if men are dogs, the male dog was on top of a female dog. You fill in the blank. So it's best not to, as Muhammad said, like 2 dogs that meet in the middle of the road, it's best not to have that type of behavior and stop throwing one person under the bus when both were active participants. But only one has birthrights, okay? Only one has a single form of birth control, and the other has over 30 forms of birth control. Birth control won't make you dignified if you're an indignified person. Like again, Allah bless me, 9 children, all of them under wedlock. None illegitimate, alhamdulillah. I don't know if I'm done. I pray Allah Ta'ala I'm not done. I really want to raise more babies. I want to raise more babies. But nevertheless, that is my take on single mom-stitution. That's how you profit from being a single mom. I'm not talking down on single moms. I'm talking about a specific group of them. The divorced and widowed are not within this unless they broke their own home. Then they fall. If you killed your husband, subhanAllah, you're not a widow, you're a murderer. Okay? If you broke your own home, stop the boo-hoo. Stop the boo-hoo. Okay? Stop the boo-hoo over what you do. That's bars. Okay? Nevertheless, I'm gonna move on to the delusional dating profile of the week. I think I'm gonna go with this one because uh, it's kind of what I promised. I think. No, this is not. This is not it. This person right here talking about. Now this is the one I did last week. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up one that I'm gonna bring up one that I found. I was trying to find one that was negative. Like they got these ones that's real negative, real negative. Oh, this is one. Yeah, this I think she's negative. I want to roast her. You know, I want to roast this one. So let me roast this one real quick. I'm gonna have to go through the processes. Okay, I'm gonna roast this one real quick. 35:15. So let me get it right here. Bam. Okay, here go the roast session. Okay, now you can see I'm showing part of her pick now. I'm showing part of her pick for a reason. Okay, because when they say, "What do you bring to the table?" and they say, "Well, I am the table." Well, this one pretty much is the table. She's a table and six chairs. She's a table, six chairs, and an umbrella and a canopy. Okay, but nevertheless, she says not about. Let me scoot. No, I'm gonna scoot this way. Excuse me. She says not about games. Tricks are for kids. Can y'all please find y'all someone else to play with? Now remember, see, this intro, quote unquote, bio is to put out to potential mates or matches some good qualities about yourself, to make them attracted to you, to make them swipe right, to make them contact you, to make them message you, to say, wow, okay, you look good, you sound good, maybe we could possibly discuss, uh, furthering, furthering this initial contact, this is what it's supposed to be. But like I mentioned last week, I'm going to try to bring out a negative. This ain't near about the most negative one, but it's one of them. And the first thing you put out is about what you ain't gonna do, what you ain't gonna put up with, how all men are trash, how the dating app is trash, how you know what? And you can't be saying all that when you built like a dumpster. Speaking of trash, you know what I'm saying? You say tricks for kids, silly rabbits. Follow what Jawad said. He says, not about games. Tricks are for kids. Can y'all please find y'all someone else to play with? See this? Before y'all come on here trying to play with grown folks, I'm just saying. I know most of y'all have kids. Use your time wisely and take them to the park and play with them. Don't come on here with these little games. Again, tricks are for kids. So, we can see here that she's a very pleasant individual to be around. She is not at all bitter or jaded. She is not at all. She is very pleasant, okay? Effervescent, I may say, if I may say. So, and she's 45, young, hasn't hit the wall yet. She hasn't hit the wall at all. Not yet. Not yet. She ain't even near that wall. She's 45. Y'all need to stop playing. Okay. So, she don't smoke. She has kids. Okay. She don't smoke and she has kids. So, yeah. Yeah, she's built like the table. And six chairs. Matching chairs. Okay. And she's saying tricks are for kids. So what happens is that I wish I had access to her first profile, or first intro, first bio. I'm sure it was maybe pleasant and nice. Then she went into, a situation where um, somebody was disingenuous, or they did not acquiesce. They did not like her like she liked them. Maybe she started dreaming about, having aspirations of a long-term relationship, LTR, and then it did not even come close to that. Maybe they met with her on a date. Maybe after that date, they blocked her. They said, well, this is not going anywhere. Perhaps. Okay, tricks are for kids. So now she rewrites her bio after a couple experiences, maybe. I'll give her credit. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's say a couple experiences. She rewrites her bio and she comes out real negative. Not about games, tricks are for kids. Can y'all please find y'all someone to play with before y'all come on here trying to play with grown folks? I'm just saying, I know most of y'all have kids. Use your time wisely. Use your punctuation, please. Use your time wisely and take them to the park and play with them. Don't come on here with these little games. Again, tricks are for kids. And it's crazy she used little games. You know, you can only play a big game with her, if I may say. Okay, so yeah. See, I bet you the first one was really positive. And guess what? She's a single mom. She's a single mom. So the guy says, okay, he sits down with her or he talks to her on the phone. Or let's say they just message. They message back and forth. And he's, yeah, okay, you got kids. How many kids you got? Okay, what are the dudes active now? Okay, you got how many kids you got? I got 3 kids. Okay, how many dudes? Oh, 3 dudes. Oh, so you have one by each. Okay, what are their ages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I'd say you had 3. Well, I mean, it's really 5, but the 2 of them are grown. Grown as in 12 and 13. That's not grown. Well, they can take care of themselves. I mean, I don't know how to count. I'm just guessing, man. I'm throwing it out there. So she went through all of that, or he went through all of that. Listen to all that. He said, "Nah, I don't think it's. You men all the same. Y'all this and he probably ain't even saw that because he blocked her. Okay, next dude. Hey, what's going on? So you look good for 45. Okay, yeah, 45. Okay, wow, 45. Over the BMI. No, look like 145 over BMI. Okay, well, okay, you're 45, you have children. Okay, yeah, all right. I mean, how many baby daddies? Okay, are they active, inactive? Okay, oh, wow, So, you interested in marrying or what you interested in? I don't know how to. I'm throwing it out there. I don't know how the conversation went, but at the end of the day, he says, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." So she starts with this. So she comes out with this bio, this introduction, this profile. Not about games, tricks are for kids. Play with your kids at the park. Don't come on here with your little games. Again, tricks are for kids. You know. So she had some bad experiences, and all it takes is one. Uh, the first bad experience she had was with the dude that made to help her, produce those kids. Okay. Then the next bad experience is when she put herself out there trying to find another dude to come in and step up. Hey, she's negative. She's negative. Don't go near it. Don't go. I know there's a gravitational pull from the larger body, but don't go near it. If you can avoid it, don't go near it. And that's all that I have. This has been your brother Saad Imam for X Factly. Inshallah ta'ala, I'll be back next week with another one. I'm going to back away from the single moms a little bit. I know it's triggering, but nevertheless, I bid you adieu until next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.